The Johto True Power Tournament is underway, and the trainers we haven't seen yet are itching for their first chance to show their skills. Last time in the premier battle of the tournament, we witnessed a gym leader showdown between Whitney of Goldenrod City against Price of Mahogany Town. Both trainers fought in a close and highly respectable battle, but only one could emerge the victor and take the first match. Today we'll be witnessing a slightly different situation as gym leader Bugsy of Azalea Town takes on Elite Four Will, a current member of the Indigo Plateau. Let's take a look at the team previews to see how their teams stack up. Bugsy enters the tournament with a quite well-rounded team despite its monotype nature, with a defensive core in Forretress and Shuckle and some speedy threats too like Beedrill and Yanmega, and some tanks like Scizor and Heracross. Against Will, he'll definitely have to take advantage of his speed and bug stab moves. Will, on the other hand, also has a solid-looking team that's a bit more bulky with Pokemon like Bronzong, Slowbro, Grumpig, and Xatu, but still with some great offensive capabilities in Jinx and Gardevoir. In this matchup, Will is of course at a slight type disadvantage, but could definitely make use of Bronzong, Xatu, and Gardevoir in particular. Our trainers are ready for their showdown, so let's head to the arena and watch this Gym Leader vs Elite Four battle go down. It's a Gym Leader vs Elite Four showdown. We've got Bugsy of Azalea Town versus Will of the Indigo Plateau. Elite Four. Will starting off the battle with his Bronzong. Now, Bronzong is definitely one of the bigger threats for Bugsy's team here, but Bugsy sending out the Scizor. Scizor is a very offensive threat, so we've got offense versus defense, and both Pokemon that actually both teams kind of struggle with. So this is going to be a big determinant in how the battle goes, and the Scizor is actually going to go with the Swords Dance here. Bugsy deciding to go kind of hyper offense at the beginning here, whereas Will's going to take it a little bit easier and go for the Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock, of course, is a very, very valuable move for his team. Scizor going for the Bug Bite here on the Bronzong, doing huge damage, but the Bronzong will survive just barely and makes it with the Earthquake here on the Scizor, but not doing very much at all. This is a scary position for Will. Right immediately, perhaps not expecting this kind of really aggressive lead from Bugsy. And now Bugsy going for the Bug Bite on the Bronzong. That should inevitably take it down. So the Bronzong pretty much getting a little bit of damage and the Stealth Rocks up, which is very valuable. But of course, Will has nothing to send in to switch in to a Bug Bite from a Scizor, especially with Swords Dance. And now the Xatu coming out and outspeeding the Scizor with the Heat Wave, actually. That will be 4 times effective, but the Aqua Berry is on the Scizor and it barely survives. Oh my word. What a good item there from Bugsy, actually. And now the Bug Bite on the Xatu will take it down, but the Rocky Helmet! Oh my word! The Rocky Helmet on the Xatu actually took down the Scizor as well. Perhaps Will calculating that at the very least he couldn't take the Scizor down with the Heat Wave, that the Rocky Helmet would do so, and man, what a prediction that was. Amazing play there, taking down that Scizor at the cost of 2 of his own Pokemon though, of course. But now we've got Forretress versus Slowbro. Another defensive battle. The Slowbro is going to go for Scald immediately. No burn, it looks like, and the Forretress is going to go for the Rapid Spin. So Forretress getting a very, very good play there because, of course, now the Stealth Rocks have been gotten rid of. And it seems like it was the only hazard setter that Will does have, but now he's going for the Amnesia on the Slowbro, actually. An interesting play that is going to raise his special defense. Now, most of Bugsy's Pokemon are actually physically offensive, but the Volt Switch coming out from the Forretress here, trying to switch out, get some momentum with a super effective switch move, of course. So some pivoting happening here, and the Yanmega coming out on the field. So that might have actually been a smart play there from Will, because most of Bugsy's attackers are physical attackers, and the Slowbro does have Scald. So he knew that Bugsy would actually send out a special attacker, and doing huge damage on that Slowbro is the Yanmega, but of course the Scald in return with the burn too. The burn coming out on the Yanmega won't of course affect its offensive capabilities, but defensively of course it will get some damage done each turn, and the Yanmega's speed boost raising its speed. It will inevitably outspeed everything on Will's team now, which is a terrifying prospect as it takes down the Slowbro. But that burn might come into play here because we know that it only has a certain amount of turns that it can last, especially with the Life Orb damage too. Uh-oh. So yeah, Yanmega is going to be a terrifying threat and very, very fast. But, of course, that burn is going to come into play, and now Will setting out the Gardevoir. Gardevoir is another scary threat, and it has the Trace ability, so it will trace the Yanmega's speed boost here. This is crucial. Yanmega going for the Bug Buzz here. Now, this could get scary really fast for Bugsy, actually. What a genius play there from Will. Now, Gardevoir did get the special defense drop there on the Bug Buzz and took a lot of damage, but it is going to go for Calm Mind, actually. Perhaps Will anticipating that the Yanmega will get taken down by its own Life Orb damage combined with the burn. We'll have to see. This is a crazy play here from Will. He's putting it all out on the line, realizing this is probably one of his only shots for victory. And the Yanmega surviving on 1 HP. Oh no! That is not good at all for Will. Perhaps a slight miscalculation. The speed boost will activate, but Yanmega has already had several, so now the Bug Buzz on the Gardevoir will inevitably take it down. Oh my word! What a play there from Will. That was a genius strategy, realizing he would need both the Calm Mind and the speed boost if he's to pull this off. But the Yanmega surviving on just 1 HP. Are you kidding me? What an amazing sequence that was. And now we've got two defensive threats out against each other. The Forretress is below half here, and the Grumpig is going to go for the Shadow Ball here. Some neutral coverage on the Forretress. Not able to take it down, so the Forretress will actually get off a Gyro Ball, and that is going to do some huge damage. A critical hit on the Grumpig, bringing it below half. But it looks like the Grumpig does have leftovers for recovery. And now we'll have to see if this Grumpig can take down the Forretress. It looks like it will. So Bugsy perhaps sending out the Forretress to get a little bit of fodder here to make sure he can see what this Grumpig is going to do exactly, so he can kind of adjust his plans accordingly, because the Forretress was below half health already. So a decent play there from him, and the Shuckle coming out now on Bugsy's side of the field. A very defensive threat. One of those kind of terrifying Pokemon, really, if you don't have a good way to deal with it. And Grumpig going for the Psychic. Some stab neutral damage, and that Shuckle just eating it up completely. And going for the Toxic here is the Shuckle on the Grumpig. So now Grumpig will be on a timer. That's a good play, because Grumpig is pretty defensive overall. It does have leftovers recovery, but that Toxic is going to rack up more and more damage each turn. So this is looking scary for Will here as it faces one of the most defensive Pokemon in the game, really. But it looks like it does have the Heal Bell. Oh, what a good move for Grumpig. Heal Bell will actually cure it of the poison. And now Shuckle going for the Sticky Web. Perhaps just trying to avoid any switches on Will's behalf, because it will lower the incoming Pokemon's speed, of course. And now Grumpig getting some recovery and no longer has to deal with that Toxic. So this is an interesting situation here. Bugsy is a little bit trapped, because if he does switch out, the Grumpig is going to nail both of his remaining Pokemon, the Heracross and the Beedrill, with a super effective Psychic. So this is really, really interesting. Bugsy's Shuckle is kind of trapped out there on the field now, and it does use the Stealth Rock, of course, which will damage incoming Pokemon again, trying to avoid any switches here, but the Psychic coming in on the Shuckle again, and it looks like the Shuckle might have a Citrus Berry. Yes, it does, restoring a little bit of its health. But it'll be interesting to see. It does go for the Toxic, but it misses. Oh no, this Grumpig pulling off some amazing, amazing moves here. Of course, the Toxic not landing on it, and now the Grumpig going for Psychic again. It is slowly wearing down this Shuckle with a barrage of attacks here. And the Shuckle trying to get the Toxic off again. So perhaps what Bugsy's trying to do here is actually bait Will into using Heal Bell again so that he can maybe switch. But Will might be too smart for that. We'll have to see. He might just kind of keep going with the offense here on the Shuckle with the Psychic. But of course, he will have to watch out for that poison if it starts racking up too much damage. And now Grumpig going for the Psychic. Yes, he decides to not go for the Heal Bell. Decides to just try and take down this Shuckle. And Bugsy, again, is stuck out on the field. He just has to waste turns now, hoping that that Grumpig will get worn down. And he does decide that Will might be a little bit too smart to actually go for the Heal Bell here and give Bugsy an opportunity to switch out. So yes, the Shuckle will be taken down, it looks like, by the Psychic. An amazing, amazing play there. Bugsy not anticipating that Heal Bell at all, and Grumpig really pulling off some good moves here, even despite the Toxic. But it will have that to contend with now, of course, as Bugsy decides what Pokemon he's going to send out. It's going to be the Beedrill. The Beedrill out on the field. A very, very fast and powerful threat, especially with the Beedrillite. Here we go. Mega Beedrill will be on the field. This is a maddening Pokemon. An absolutely terrifying threat. Insane speed, insane attack, and it does have the U-turn. That is going to be super effective, and a KO on the Grumpig. What a play there. Now, of course, we now kind of understand what Bugsy was doing. He couldn't really send out the Beedrill and start sweeping, because it looks like his only super effective attack was a pivoting move. So he would have to then send out the Heracross, which could get outsped, of course, here by the Jinx. The Jinx is a very, very fast Pokemon. But, oh, the sticky webs! Oh, my word! What a genius play, and the Stealth Rock's getting some damage too. What a genius play by Bugsy, realizing that the Jinx, a very fast Pokemon, would be sent out. And it looks like he planned this whole thing. The Mega Horn taking down the Jinx. Wow, he knew he would have to switch out from the Beedrill with that U-turn. So he made sure to lay down the Sticky Web and slow the Jinx down so Heracross could outspeed with the Mega Horn. The stab, super effective Mega Horn on that Jinx, doing a huge amount of damage and taking Will down. Bugsy will be taking the match 2-0 over Will. Will playing very, very smart, had some amazing plays there, but of course that one little slight miscalculation on the Gardevoir's trace with the speed boost did cost him the battle. Man oh man, but still playing really well given the type disadvantage. Bugsy will be moving to the next round. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next matches. Before we go, I'd like to thank the patrons who are making this tournament possible. If you guys want to help further this series' potential and support it, the link to my Patreon page will be in the description below. That's all for this one. This has been SilphSpectre, and I'll see you guys next time for more True Power.